Auburn Blitz is now on the air, your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your hosts, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
Hello again, everyone, and good Friday afternoon. Welcome into this, another edition of the Auburn Blitz. I am Andy Graham alongside Brett Pritchard. We'll be with you for the next hour, as always, talking about everything going on in the world of Auburn athletics. We'll be taking your comments, taking your phone calls. Love to hear from you. Love to know what's on your mind this afternoon. It's kind of been a slow news day for the last couple of days. Not a lot going on. You know, Auburn slowly filling out that staff, still looking for an offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator to be named. So is that because we're having trouble finding somebody? Is that because we have got our man? It's just that he's still coaching, and we got to wait for until after this weekend. I don't know, but we'll see. The Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game going on this weekend. Auburn, Braden Joyner down there, Auburn commitment. Been a long-time commitment from Auburn High School. A lot of other guys that are down there that Auburn's still trying to and still talking with. You obviously have a big recruiting weekend here on campus. A lot of guys, I think maybe 10 or so guys going to be in on official visits or unofficial visits. We're talking about JUCO guys. You're talking about high school guys, maybe even some transfer portal guys. So Hugh Freeze has really been has hit the road and hit the ground running as far as recruiting is concerned. He's doing everything that he can. We will see. The portal's open for 45 days, I think. So
right.
This is not going to happen overnight. But
just
yeah,
close, right?
That's right. Heisman Trophy will be awarded this weekend. You still think Caleb Williams?
I tell you, man, it really will be dependent on how many votes were cast early. Mm-hmm. I think, man, this really just there's not a
vote for.
It's a, look, I know everything's nitpicky and all, and you can go back and question character and all that kind of stuff. It's good. I don't know. I mean, it's just really depending on how many votes come from what region of the country, because I think they all have an argument outside of Stetson Bennett.
Yeah.
I mean, Stetson Bennett.
This is kind of a lifetime achievement award.
That's
right?
exactly what this is, and that's not what the Heisman is. So I think you got three candidates that have a legit shot. I'm not sure. C.J. Stroud was the guy everybody felt like coming into the season was going to win the Heisman, and he just didn't perform well in some big games. He really had the baton to run away from everybody, and he just never would take it. Caleb Williams, you could tell, new life over at USC, and really from a number standpoint had a good year. But you look over at the kid from TCU, Duggins. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's – he had a heart procedure before the season started a few weeks. It was 5 hours long, 5 or 6 hours long. And, boy, if he ever had a test of his heart and endurance, it was in that Big 12 championship game. I want to lean toward him. I mean, from what he was able to do for TCU and, if he wins that game, I know a lot of people say, well, that probably would have pushed him over the edge. I think – regardless of the way that game ended in overtime, he was the reason TCU was able to do what they were able to do. So I don't know. If I had a vote, I'd probably vote for him. That's probably where I'd lean.
Well, he wins the Davey O'Brien Award, best quarterback, right?
That's right.
I think Caleb Williams wins the Maxwell, and maybe one of the other ones. I think maybe the best player overall. So that's kind of interesting that those end up being split. I'm not, not quite sure what the precedent is as far as who wins those. It seems like whoever wins, usually that Maxwell Award ends up winning a Heisman. We'll see.
Some news on a basketball recruit as we come on.
Auburn gets a top 50 player.
7 foot, 230-pound or 320 pound.
Not a guy that like a normal guy.
I said
that you
230.
see.
I'm a little bit flip my numbers.
Yeah.
320.
320.
You know, watch some film on him. Pretty agile for his size. Can move a little bit, and you know, not saying he's Shaquille O'Neal, but kind of that same kind of. You know, as far as
brute.
He's a brute. So, but that's a big dude inside, taking up a lot of space.
Yeah, absolutely.
In the 24 class, by the way.
Peyton Marshall.
Peyton Marshall.
Right. Okay. So 2024 class.
Yeah, 24 class.
7-footer, over 300 pounds. So a huge guy there in the middle. That should be very interesting to see how he fits into Bruce Pearl's scheme. But Auburn got a big basketball game this weekend with Memphis over in Atlanta. This kind of that holiday hoops given type setting, a neutral site. Auburn, you know, has beaten Memphis, I think, the last time we played them. But this Memphis team, David and I talked about that yesterday, very, very senior laden. I've never seen so many seniors. Fifth-year seniors, redshirt seniors, guys that have been around forever. Now, I mean, they haven't been at Memphis probably forever because the way things work today with the transfer portal, half of these guys probably came from other places. But nonetheless, just a roster filled with experienced guys. It should be a very good test for Auburn.
Yeah, I totally agree. And Jeff jumps in on that, talking about Bruce Pearl picking up that commitment we just talked about. He said, now that's recruiting. I mean, there's no doubt this guy hadn't slowed down since he got to Auburn, and you know, his success has garnered continuing to get top player after top player. And you know, he was down there looking at Phylon from Baker this past week with Steven, and you know, he leads the country in scoring, I think 46 points a game. You know, this kid's amazing. So he's going to always put Auburn in position to get the best players in the country. John said Duggins should win, but likely won't win. I think probably at the end of the day, Caleb Williams with the USC pool and just the exposure, he ends up winning.
I watched that game, the USC-UCLA game. I mean, he had a phenomenal game.
But he didn't have the best game against Utah.
He did not. That's which I think you brought up.
Who had already voted?
Who had already voted?
Who had already voted. So Ty says, I think Caleb Williams will win it. He said, I'm pulling for Max Duggins. I mean, I think
should be a close vote either way, I would think. Maybe as close as Bo Jackson, Chuck Long. You know, that I'm not sure that one should have been as close as it was.
No, I don't think it shouldn't have been that
in hindsight, I mean, but, yeah, it could be. I would imagine it would be a pretty close vote.
Right.
Because I would imagine C.J. Stroud will still get some votes.
He's going to, but I think maybe he ends up finishing third.
I think
Stetson Bennett shouldn't even be there. I mean, look, I'm not cutting the kid. Now, I've seen a lot of mean stuff on social media. People are hateful, dude. I mean, it's like, oh, this guy just does all he throws is slant pattern. Give him a little bit more credit than that. I mean, all he's done is gone out and prove everybody wrong every week. He is not 6'3", 230 pounds and runs over people and has a 4.4 40 and all this kind of stuff, but he just does what he's asked to do. So give him a little bit more credit than, okay, all he does is stand behind all these offensive linemen and throw slant patterns and let everybody else do. He's more than that, but he doesn't deserve to win the Heisman Trophy because he's not the best player in college football. Everybody loses the mindset of what this award is. It's supposed to be the most valuable player, most outstanding.
Most outstanding.
Not valuable, most outstanding player in college football.
Yep.
And when you look at Stetson Bennett,
he's not the best player on his team.
He's not. So,
but I mean, like you said,
but is Caleb Williams the most outstanding player in college football? Is Max Duggins the most outstanding player in college football? I mean, is C.J. Stroud? Who is it?
It's rare. It's somewhat subjective.
It really kind of is. So, but anyway,
that's why they vote on it.
That's why they vote. I think that it maybe was a little bit of a disservice to Hendon Hooker to not be there, and for Stetson Bennett to be there. I mean, this is not the best player, or this is not the quarterback on the best team in college football. And I know a lot of grief's been given to the selection of always being a quarterback, it seems like, and not giving enough credence to other positions and maybe even defense. I mean, you can be the most outstanding player in college football and be a defender, right?
Yeah, well, supposedly, but that does not seem to be
But
what it works
defenders
out.
get slighted all the time. I mean, it is very.
Well, Charles
Woodson's the only one, and I mean, he beat out Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
And a lot of people go, "Well, how did he do that?" Peyton Manning kind of got the hose. Everybody felt like on that, but still, I think it was a PR campaign at that particular time with Charles Woodson playing a little bit of special teams and doing some stuff, and his dynamic play on the field. Everybody kind of got behind him, and that's what won him the Heisman.
Well, it was running backs forever. The
Right.
running backs ended up being kind of a running back award. Then it kind of moved when the position changed. The quarterback started being a little bit more.
Well, they're going to put the numbers up.
Yeah.
The quarterbacks, especially dual threat guys, they're going to put up numbers nobody can compete with. And so it's hard to look past that when you're looking at stats, but you're sliding a guy on the defensive front as a defensive end or a linebacker that, I'd take a stretch and go out and say that the kid from Arkansas that played middle linebacker maybe
Drew
deserves.
Sanders.
I mean, who played defense better than him this year?
He was really good, for sure. We got to take our first break here on the Auburn Blitz, but don't you go anywhere. We'll be back with more right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Concrete Basement and Walls, LLC, 205-229-0234. Call owner Eric McKenzie now to get your free quote now. 205-229-0234. Concrete Basement and Walls, LLC.
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA weekly show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 preview show, and reclassification reveal show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
Finding a job might be tough, but starting your new career has never been easier. Wellborn Cabinet in Ashland has a wide array of career opportunities with benefits. General labor production, skilled cabinet builders, product assembly line, shipping, over-the-road truck drivers, clerical, marketing, security, daycare, office clerks, and so much more. Apply in person, 38669 Highway 77 South in Ashland, or online at wellborn.com. Building cabinets, building careers, and building our community.
Whether it's Lake Martin, Lay Lake, or Logan Martin, boaters from all over the state of Alabama come to Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama, because it's worth the drive. With the best deals on unbeatable Suzuki outboards, Manitou and Landau Tritoons, and a great pre-owned inventory while they last. Alex City Marine is the pros the locals know. And no matter where you're from, when you're here, you're local to us. Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama. AlexCityMarine.com.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hey, it's Brett Pritchard, and I'm here to tell you all about Sims Foods, who you know better as Wickles Pickles. Wickles Pickles, that 90-year-old recipe, wickedly delicious. Relish, okra, and pickles. From Saturday sandwiches, tailgate snacks, to holiday dinners with your family and friends. From their family to yours, Wickles Pickles, those wickedly delicious pickles.
Wickles Pickles, wickedly delicious pickles.
Concrete Basement and Walls LLC, 205-229-0234. Call owner Eric McKenzie now to get your free quote now. 205-229-0234. Concrete Basement and Walls LLC.
No monthly payments until springtime at Glenn Smith Chevrolet in Opelika. New Chevy Silverado 1500 trucks discounted up to $9,250 off. Chevy Equinox up to $5,500 off, or payments as low as $369 a month. Shop online anytime at glennsmith.com. That's GLYNN Smith.com.
We have over 200 new and used vehicles on the lot or on the way at Glenn Smith and Opelika. Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Brett here with you for about 45 more minutes left in today's show. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. Brought to you each and every day by Russell Do It Center, 10 locations around Central Alabama for all your building supply, home decor, tools, whatever it might be. Go and check out Russell Do It Center today.
Let's go to the phone lines for the first time, and we don't have a call now. So we'll go hopefully get that call back. But I do want to hit up a comment here from Ed. He said, he says, Brett, being in the trading card business, what do you think about the five-star wideout out of California? Putting his trading card out there for 3 school fan bases to purchase, the ones that he wants to go to, Penn State, Oregon, Tennessee. Whoever buys the most cards is where he said he's going to go. Better than that, he gets 15% of the profits from the 2 losing schools. Actually, Ed, this is how it works. It's you're pretty close on that. This is Jerian Dickey out of California, 5-star wideout. Committed to Oregon on May 2nd, but is now considering Tennessee and Penn State really strongly. Number 2 wide receiver in the nation, number 14 prospect overall according to 24/7. Basically what happens is when the player eventually signs and enrolls with the school, fans of that school can receive a collectible version of that card for possible future sales. Fans of the schools who lost out get 85% of their money back. Okay? And then the player gets 85% of the sales total of the card of all fan bases. So that's how it plays out. He's 6'3", 210 pounds. Again, considering Penn State, Tennessee, and Oregon really strongly. It's one of those deals where, where does he land? My money would probably be on Tennessee right now. They got an $8 million quarterback that's coming in Nico Iamaleava, I believe, however you pronounce it.
Okay.
So why not go out and get the number 1 receiver, 5-star, and our number 2 receiver, according to 24/7. So interesting stuff, man. This world, this is it.
That's an interesting way to do it. That's an interesting.
The fans can determine where the kid goes. According to what he said.
Yeah. So that to me, that's taking advantage of the situation. That's smart business.
That's smart business on that kid's, and absolutely. That he's just going to continue to do, or other kids are going to continue to do that. They're going to say, "Well, man, he's going to do it. I'm going to do it."
Yeah.
So, all right, let's go to the phone lines. Caller, go ahead.
Hey, guys, how y'all doing today?
What's up? How are you?
Pretty good. The Heisman Trophy, guys, has been a joke since '97. It's a joke. ABC, the people don't realize ABC and ESPN owned the Big Ten contract that year. That's how Charles Woodson won that Heisman over Peyton Manning. It's been a joke ever since, and I don't even recognize it. The fact that Stetson Bennett is there over Hendon Hooker is ridiculous. Even an injured Hendon Hooker.
Well, it shouldn't really be determined on if the kid got injured. I mean, what he did throughout the season is what should get you there. And just because he got hurt in a game at the end of the year shouldn't mean he can't be invited. I think I definitely think they missed the mark there. I'm not saying that. I think Hendon Hooker has a legit argument to win the thing, but he didn't even get an invite. So that to me is a disservice.
Well, there's several players that put up phenomenal numbers and never get invited every year. I mean, you just got to do a little research and looking around a little bit. Maybe it's some different colleges, but they don't. But ESPN don't want those guys sitting up there because they can't promote them on ESPN commercial, or ABC can't promote them for any kind of endorsement deal or anything. So, Brett, Brett and Andy, when is the? I know the portal's up. When are we going to start hearing some news out of Auburn? Is it going to be a situation to where we got to wait till the coaching staff is in place before you start getting some guys on campus?
Big group on campus this weekend. Hopefully, we'll start seeing some fruit, but there's a lot of seeds being planted right now.
I keep hearing the name Jeff Sims out of Georgia Tech, the quarterback.
Right.
Are y'all familiar with him?
Yeah, he's one of the top out there. He's probably in everybody's top 5 right now.
Okay, so Auburn's not the only school looking at him.
No, Lord, no, absolutely not.
Well, and I'm not familiar with this style of play, so does it lend itself to Hugh Freeze's system? Hugh Freeze, the guy that I predicted?
Yeah. I think you'll have that coming out of Terry's mouth every week on the show. To be honest with you, I'd have to watch more Georgia Tech football to see, but I think Hugh Freeze has proven he can take guys and develop them and make them what he wants if they have the athletic ability. So I do think he is a very athletic quarterback that can move around, so it would lend its style to more of elite, style of what Malik was able to do for him at Liberty.
Brad, I'm glad you pointed that out because I get tickled at people when they talk about Hugh Freeze's Gus Malzahn Part 2. Not really. He actually develops players. Players get better under him.
They have proven that for sure.
That's what I'm saying. That's the thing. I mean, all you got to do is look at Ding Marshall from 11-2 to 7-5. He went backwards. He didn't go forward.
That's a good point.
So I tell people all the time, that's what I'm humoring. I guess their offenses there are some similarities, but again, it's about developing players and getting players because what you can sell is the player getting to the next level. That's what they want to hear because that's what they want to do. So
I'll just give you a little update on Jeff Sims. He rushed for 1,000, a little over 1,100 yards this year and 11 touchdowns. So that's one of the things that he can. He's a guy that can move around, can do some things, and again, he's a dual threat guy, so he would fit.
You need to give Robbie Ashford some
do what, buddy?
What's his size?
I don't have his size in front of me, but I can get that for you.
Okay. You guys have a great weekend.
Thank you, Terry.
Appreciate it.
Bye now. Thanks for the call. And you can call us 256-234-6221, or you can comment on Facebook. Let me just run down this real quick. I looked at this earlier today. The 10 top quarterback prospects out there. DJ Uyunglele from Clemson. I'm not high on that guy. I'm not.
Is he number 1?
He's 10.
Okay.
Malik Hornsby from Arkansas, 9. Luke Altmaier from Ole Miss, 7 or 8. Jeff Sims at 7. Brennan Armstrong from Virginia, 6. Hudson Card from Texas, 5. Austin Reed, who we saw up close and personal in Western Kentucky, very impressive, 4. Spencer Sanders, Oklahoma State, 3. Drew Pine from Notre Dame, 2. And then Devin Leary from NC State, 1. That's current people in the portal right now.
Right. So we got to take another break, but don't go anywhere. More to come right after these important messages.
Growing your business isn't just one thing. It's a million little things. Should you lease, rent, or own? How fast can you get that part? Does it fit the budget? That's what your local cat dealer is here for. With expert advice, flexible financing, and industry-leading equipment, you can get the job done, day after day. Visit ThompsonCat.com, their compact equipment provider.
The Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro in Alexander City is the perfect lender for all your mortgage needs. Property values have increased and interest rates have never been so low. So if you haven't looked at refinancing your house in the last 6 to 12 months, Mortgage Pro is here to help you take advantage of that. Our team is closing loans in 15 days or less, so give us a call at 256-397-0248 and let our team go to work for you today.
Frontline Outfitters provides all your aftermarket parts for your cars, trucks, and as well as your professional tinting solutions for auto, residential, and commercial buildings. Frontline Outfitters also handles vinyl wraps, spray-in bed liners, truck accessories, LED lighting, paint correction and detailing, and much more. Make sure Frontline Outfitters of Alexander City is your first call for tinting and aftermarket solutions. Call us today, 256-409-8100.
The interstate is backed up this morning due to an accident.
So you don't like sitting still on the interstate? Get the free Algo traffic app. With Algo, you'll have the information you need to avoid problems on your route, to work, to home, to the beach. Traffic backups, wrecks, lane closures, all with current info and live traffic camera feeds. Know before you go with Algo Traffic, ALGO Traffic from the Alabama Department of Transportation. Get it today and arrive on time.
Lake Martin Garage, located on Highway 280 in Jackson's Gap, has been serving our area since 1993. From routine maintenance such as oil changes, tune-ups, and rotating and balancing your tires, to transmission and engine repair, our trained and certified mechanics will get you back on the road better than before. Need a tow? With a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week towing service, Lake Martin Garage has local and long-range pickup. Trust your vehicle needs to the professionals at Lake Martin Garage. Call 256-825-6139, or better yet, stop in and see them today. Lake Martin Garage.
Russell Building Supply and Home Center is just around the corner in a brand new, convenient location with a wide selection of grills, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. The new store offers more home improvement items along with other helpful conveniences like a drive-through lumber yard and our Best Rewards program, making it an ideal destination for do-it-yourselfers and professional contractors. Get ready for game day on the plains by stocking up on all your Auburn tailgating gear at Russell Building Supply and Home Center.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama.
For more than 40 years, Ingram Equipment Company has helped companies, towns, and cities with their dirtiest, most challenging jobs by providing the very best equipment and by helping them keep in tip-top working condition. IEC represents leading manufacturers such as Heil garbage truck bodies, Timco sweepers, Step pothole patchers, and many more. We proudly support all athletes and teams that compete across the state and wish them good luck this year. Ingram Equipment Company, ingramequipment.net.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Brett here with you for about 30 more minutes in today's show. Jason Caldwell from Inside the Auburn Tigers will join us in the next segment, so stick around for that. You actually hear somebody that knows what they're talking about. That's refreshing.
Yeah, no kidding. In this world.
Yeah, no doubt.
Hey, Andy, some of the comments, like John said, in most instances, Heisman, too much of a media darling popularity flavor of the moment contest. Ty said, is TJ Finley in the portal? What is Tank Bigsby going to do? Notice TJ Finley wasn't in that top 10 of quarterbacks in the portal.
He is not in the portal as we speak. TJ Finley had not entered his name in the portal as of yet. I
can't endure another.
I don't even know why you would.
I just can't. I just can't do it.
What is Tank Bigsby going to do?
Does anybody
the
think
longer
he's
he waits, I think it leans toward him coming back.
Really?
I mean, why would he not? What does he have to gain by not just go ahead and saying, I'm declaring for the draft?
I guess, but I don't know how.
Now, granted, he's got a month, but, I mean,
right.
I just don't know what.
If he comes back, what does that do for Jarquez Hunter?
I mean,
he's not in the portal right now, but
I think he and Jarquez get along fine.
I'm not saying it didn't have anything to do with getting along.
No, I'm saying, but I think they're fine with sharing. From everything I've heard about Hunter, he's fine with just for them being a dynamic duo. And I think he can continue to.
All right, so let's talk about need position and what Hugh Freeze has got to do. And again, I'm with everybody. It's eerily quiet right now. I don't know if that's good, bad, indifferent, whatever. There was a lot of momentum after Hugh Freeze was hired, and then it's kind of just died off as far as from naming coaches, coordinators to who you're going to get out of the portal and all that kind of stuff. Well, I was on Gary Harris's show this morning again, and he said, "What do you think? What's the buzz?" I said, if I'm in Hugh Freeze's shoes, I'm looking at lines of scrimmage right now, because if you don't have lines of scrimmage, the rest don't matter anyway. And Auburn's been very, very mediocre at best on the lines of scrimmage, especially the offensive line, the last 4 or 5 years. They've held their own at times defensively up front, and they've had some pretty good players, but that's been depleted now. Yeah. I mean, you're losing two of the best guys. Do we have one defensive end on the roster right now? Dylan Brooks.
Yeah, that's it.
And he's had about 4 snaps. Mm-hmm. I mean, seriously.
Well, here's your starting defensive line next year, okay?
I don't know.
Marcus Harris.
Yeah. Jason
Jones. And
those are 2 tackles.
Those are your line.
That's it.
You got Enos Sledge, who has never played. No. And you got Dylan Brooks, who's played a few snaps. Outside of that,
that is who you're going to start.
Yeah, and
this ain't talking about depth.
I don't even know if you have a backup.
So I mean, look,
defensive line is a huge need.
It's a dire situation in some positions.
Yeah,
and again, when do you start getting some guys to say, "I'm coming"? You know, as Hugh Freeze got up there Saturday and made a plea to everybody out there, saying, "Look, you're a top player, and you can come to Auburn and play right now." When are we going to start hearing something?
Well, I mean, if James Smith and Quay Russaw, you say, look, you can go to Alabama and you might get on the field, or you might sit on the bench for 2 years.
But you're going to start immediately.
Or you can start day one at Auburn. I mean, that's – or you'll play. I mean, clearly as much as you want to play.
I'd like to know, and if we had a percentage to put on it right now of where they're going, I wonder what Auburn's percentage chance would be if you were to throw it out there for those 2 guys, because you're battling Georgia.
They've been in it. They've been to Auburn a ton of times.
They have. There's never been a need more than now for 2 quality defensive linemen, especially edge rusher guys. James Smith more of a tackle. Quay Russaw is your prototypical edge rusher. Now he'd be taking the place of, Derek Hall for sure, or Kobe Wooden, whichever one. I mean, I watched plenty of film on those guys this year. They are the real deal. So, man, it's got to be in their mind, especially along with the NIL stuff that goes along with it. I mean, the game has changed.
I saw John Garcia just the other day say that Auburn has a real chance with these guys, but as of today, he said, I would say they were going to Alabama.
Of course.
So I mean that's what it that's where
that's
it stands.
That's the easy thing to say for anybody right now when when things haven't happened yet. Somebody's got to take the plunge. One of these top recruits has got to say, all right, I buy in, I'm in. Then you start to see some momentum. I would side with John on that. I mean, it's the easy thing to say. Well, yeah, right now my money, safe bet would be Alabama.
A good start would be Tony Mitchell's in town this weekend.
Yeah,
5-star
safety.
Right. That has and a lot of people feel like he might. I mean, he's come to Auburn several times.
If Auburn were to somehow swing Tony Mitchell and those 2 guys, Russaw and Smith, this is a whole different playing field now.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, it's a totally different ball game. Because it's been assumed the entire time that those 3 guys, maybe Georgia a little bit on Quay Russaw James Smith, but, I mean, Tony Mitchell's been committed to Alabama for a long time, and then everybody seems to think that the duo from Carver leans toward Alabama. But if Auburn's somehow able to swing those through.
Well, and to your point, offensive line, you need at least 3, maybe 4.
I was thinking,
you could take
I was thinking
5
4 or 5
from the and defensive
yeah, I'm thinking
line.
4
so,
or 5, man.
I mean, those two are the most imperative, where you got to bring in some real big-time guys through the recruiting class and through the portal. So you got probably 35-ish spots to fill. I mean, what is that going to be, 20 from the recruiting class,
right.
15 from the portal, or vice versa? I don't care how they get it. But you got to get those guys.
Got to get them.
You got to get those guys. We got another break here. Jason Caldwell from inside the Auburn Tigers when we come back right after this.
Tails are wagging and pets are bragging about Zoom to Groom. Columbus, Phoenix City, and Smith Station. Zoom to Groom comes to you. It's mobile pet grooming from the comfort of your driveway. Schedule your appointment now online at zoomtogroom.net or by phone at 334-740-9909.
At CNT Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs, or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
Something big is coming. Something so big, it'll change the world of chicken sandwiches. Zaxby's new signature sandwich with Zax sauce or new spicy Zax sauce, because the chicken sandwich war ain't over yet. The new signature sandwich. All the other little sandwiches can run along. We'll take it from here.
76% of nurses say they went into the profession because they wanted to help patients. No matter the reason you decided to become a nurse, you have all the tools needed to advance your degree at Jacksonville State University. Our Master's in Nursing program is now offered fully online and can be completed in less than 2 years. You can customize a flexible course schedule so you can receive your advanced education degree all while working on the front line. JSU Nursing, your opportunity to advance your career and serve your community.
Country Clipper zero-turn mowers are designed for comfort, accessibility, and ease of use. Only Country Clipper offers your choice of steering options with industry-exclusive joystick steering or twin lever steering. Their patented stand-up deck, standard on every model, allows for quick access to the underside of the deck for routine maintenance. With a wide front step and optional handrail, getting on or off your mower has never been easier. Stop by Fun Carts of Opelika today for a test drive. Country Clipper mowers, designed for you. Fun Carts of Opelika, located at 618 Lee Road 113 in Opelika, Alabama.
Hey, this is Doug Roberts, long-term resident of Alexander City. I sold my house with Century 21 Lake Area Realty because all my life I had heard that to sell a house you need 3 things: location, location, location. I found out there's actually 4. You need location, 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 and Rhonda Gaskins at Century 21 Lake Area Realty to sell your house fast.
Call me today and let me go to work for you. 256-749-3644.
Tails are wagging and pets are bragging about Zoom to Groom. Columbus, Phoenix City, and Smith Station. Zoom to Groom comes to you. It's mobile pet grooming from the comfort of your driveway. Schedule your appointment now online at zoomtogroom.net or by phone at 334-740-9909.
Brubaker Motors in Montgomery is the largest and fastest growing used car dealership in the River region. You can absolutely get a better buy at Brubaker. It's better at Brubaker.com.
Brubaker, Brubaker, Brubaker.
You can absolutely get a better buy at Brubaker.
BREWBAKER. BREWBAKER.com.
It's better at Brubaker.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Brett here with you just for a couple more segments in today's show. Going to go to the phone line and welcome in our good friend Jason Caldwell from inside the Auburn Tigers as he joins us each and every Friday. Jason, thank you so much for being with us. Kind of a quiet couple of days. Things have kind of settled down a little bit as Hugh Freeze is putting together his staff, still looking for the coordinator positions. It's kind of odd building it kind of backwards here. You normally see it the other way, but defensive coordinator, I think that's the one a lot of people are talking about, and that's a lot of people are concerned about. It really needs to be a really big hire. There's two schools of thought. I mean, is Auburn looking for guys and maybe is going and has been turned down a couple of times, or is this Auburn has found their guy, they're just waiting, maybe he's still coaching or something to that nature?
Yeah, I think it's somewhere in between. I don't know that they've been turned down. I don't know that you call a guy taking a head coaching position being turned down. Barry Odom's the only guy that I know of that I felt like was a top target for sure. There's other guys that have been interviewed, but to his credit, Hugh Freeze, I don't think he's worried about perception. He's worried about getting the right guy, and I think that's how you take as long as it takes. And I get the feel, much like John Cohen did in his search, I get the feel that Hugh Freeze is going to be very deliberate, and there's a lot of information that he wants to gather on coaches. And so you're right, it's an important hire, and because of that, the timing is obviously important. But in the end, the most important thing is to get the right person, get the right guy for the job, and to do that. So, yeah, some of the staff's already hired. I think most guys nowadays understand that you're coming in, you got your system and you coach the coaches. It's still the job of the head coach to build his staff. And, coordinators, sometimes they'll have some input. And hey, there's what's to say that a coordinator still wouldn't have some input, depending, what happens on the rest of the staff and where guys coach and what position. But I think so far it's been a guy that's, hit the ground in a very busy time and trying to get everything done. And, yeah, you need to hire a coordinator, but you also got to recruit, and you got to be on the road, and you got visitors, and they've got all those things going on too. So it's December now is the busiest month in all of college football, and it's not close.
Jason, let's dive into a few players. One, current Tank Bigsby. The longer this thing goes, does it lean more that he stays at Auburn? I would have thought it would have been a no-brainer. This would be his final year at Auburn, but he hasn't said anything yet.
Yeah, I still lean towards him, being gone. But I've said, for a month or two, I don't think it's a done deal. I didn't think it was a given. He really likes Auburn, and he really likes a guy like Williams, and those two things are important. The one thing that could factor in to him and to many others is the potential of NIL money. You can now supplement a little bit what you might be losing, and for a guy like him, the biggest question is just wear and tear. How much more wear and tear on your body? But he hadn't been a guy that's carried the ball 35, 40 times in games. He doesn't have a ton of wear and tear on his body as a running back, and so because of that, he's a guy that could probably, he could probably help himself some in terms of draft stock, but, it'll all depend on what they tell him. Hey, here's where you fit, here's where you're projected to go in a draft, and here's what you could do. And that's the thing for me. Say if you come back and you run for 1,600 yards and 25 touchdowns, how much would it move you up? That's what you have to look at running back. And if it's not a big difference, then most of the time you'll see those guys end up going early.
Priority for Hugh Freeze in this portal. I know a lot of Auburn fans anxious. There just hadn't been a lot of news this past week, and I know everybody wants results now. But priority for Hugh Freeze and his staff's got to be lines of scrimmage, don't you think, Jason?
No, it's not even close. You'd like to have a wide receiver or two, and probably a linebacker, and maybe somebody in the secondary. I mean, there's needs pretty much everywhere. Even a needed quarterback with the way Robbie Ashford did to finish the year. But you look at lines of scrimmage, they don't have a tackle on campus that has played a significant snap of football. They only have one true tackle on the roster. Colby Smith is it. He's coming off a redshirt freshman season. And so you're talking about a huge need on the offensive line. Honestly, the more I look at it, I think the need is bigger on the defensive line. I mean, in less than 2 years, Brian Harsin managed to deplete what was the strength of this team.
Well, that's what happens when you sit on your rear end and do nothing.
And Derek Hall, guys who had he would have had another year of eligibility. But that's what happens nowadays. You recruit good players, and those guys leave. But right now, Auburn has 6 total players on the defensive line and edge position combined. That's 4 spots, 6 players. And you start to break it down a little more. They only have one edge. Dylan Brooks is it. They don't have another scholarship edge on campus. And then you look up front on the defensive line, and Marcus Harris is a guy that's proven, has played it. Jason Jones played a good bit this year, but wasn't a playmaker for this defense. You look behind them, and, Sledge hasn't really played. Tabichio Coley hasn't played. And so you start to look at, what you have left on this defense. And, we saw a little bit of Jeffrey Amba. That's the extent. That's the entire group. And you start looking at portal now. I think Auburn has a minimum of 8 portal additions on the lines of scrimmage just to be competitive. I think probably 8 to 10, and you got to get starters. I mean, you got to have guys that are ready to compete. I think you got to have that much alone out of the portal for this team to go jump up there and be competitive type of team next season. I think it's that dire.
Is that available in the portal as we speak?
Yeah, it's available, but they're going to have to almost hit a home run.
You got to beat everybody else out. I mean,
that's the thing. A lot of people are looking for probably the hardest 2 positions to find right now are edge pass rusher and offensive tackle.
So there's just
you can find quarterbacks galore. It's harder to find pass rushers and edge tackles, offensive tackles, than it is anything. And Auburn has to have probably a minimum 2 pass rushers and probably 2 to 3 offensive tackles that are capable of coming in and getting on the field early.
Yeah,
that's what it's going to take.
It is absolutely astounding how little Brian Harsin did in 2 years.
There were some things that were done, but it was all to the detriment. When guys like Lee Hunter and young defensive linemen leave, that's what happens. The gap was already there on the offensive line. That created a gap on the defensive line, and so now you're looking at here going, you got gaps on both lines of scrimmage, and it's no 2 ways about it. They got to have guys right now to come in for spring to compete and give them a chance to get on the field and be ready to go.
Well, it won't be for lack of trying by Hugh Freeze and this staff, so that's at least something moving in the positive direction for Auburn. That's at least something to look forward to. And
they're working. They got a good group of players on campus this weekend. They've been working on transfer portal. Had a visitor already from Rod Thomas, wide receiver from Mississippi State's already been on campus this week. A couple more transfer visitors expected this weekend. So, they've been on the road. They've been doing those things. Just depending on how quickly you can make up ground. And that's on the recruiting process as well. Really good year in state. There's still some guys that have a chance at. They grab a couple of those guys, it would give them some momentum at least heading into 2023 season and 24 recruiting class.
Jason Caldwell from inside the Auburn Tigers. Jason, thank you so much.
Thank you, Jason.
Hey, guys.
Appreciate it, brother.
We got to go. We'll be back with one final segment of the Auburn Blitz on this Friday, right after this.
Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Don't be caught in a dirty vehicle. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing will have your vehicle or boat looking like brand new in no time, and you'll be back driving in style. They specialize in detailing, paint correction, gel coat restoration, and ceramic coating. Take it to the professionals at Lake Martin Mobile Detailing. Call them today at 256-794-2328 or stop by and see them at 702 McCarty Road in Dadeville. Mention this ad and receive $10 off. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing for your cleanest vehicles around.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our Best Rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area.
The Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro in Alexander City is the perfect lender for all your mortgage needs. Property values have increased and interest rates have never been so low. So if you haven't looked at refinancing your house in the last 6 to 12 months, Mortgage Pro is here to help you take advantage of that. Our team is closing loans in 15 days or less, so give us a call at 256-397-0248 and let our team go to work for you today.
Hey guys, this is Nate Pass with Airport Motors.
I'm Connor Branch with Fairway Auto Brokers in Opelika, Alabama.
And this is your first ever Lake Martin Summer Car Blitz.
That's right, Lake Martin. Airport Motors and Fairway Auto Brokers is teaming up for the very first Lake Martin Summer Car Blitz. Make sure to check out either website for the very best selection of pre-owned luxury trucks, SUVs, and sedans in East Alabama. Get pre-approved in minutes online and make sure to use the keyword Summer Blitz in the comments section for $500 off internet price. That's keyword Summer Blitz.
Need that boost to get you started in the morning or help get you through a long day at the office? Alex City Nutrition is your answer. Alex City Nutrition, located on 2nd Broad Street in downtown Alex City, offers meal replacement shakes, post-workout shakes, extreme rebuild products, and a vast array of loaded teas that offer focus, energy, and build up your immunity and overall health. Want to buy in bulk? We now offer your favorite flavors by the gallon. Come by Alex City Nutrition today or call 256-496-8284 to begin your journey to great health.
Welcome back, everyone, to the final segment of the Auburn Blitz on this Friday afternoon. Andy and Brett taking you up to 1 o'clock. Boy,
I mean, I'll tell you, man.
That was a
– I mean, how bad?
Look, it's a stark reality what Auburn is facing, what Hugh Freeze is facing. And
there should have been something written in a contract, or some legal team should have been able to say there's a such thing as derelict of duties, and – you know what? I know you got a buyout in there, but you didn't do your job. So I'm firing you. And no, we're not paying you a buyout. And if you want to keep it tied up in court, we will. But go on about your merry way, because you didn't do squat for 2 years. And now you've left the program.
And he got paid $10 million.
That's what I'm saying. Salary. He got paid for not doing a job, and then he gets handed $15 million to walk out the daggum door. What a joke, man.
For basically throwing a grenade into the program.
That's what he is a grenade. I mean, it's no secret now that a majority of the team hated him. He had there was a lot of legitimacy to the fact that there were players that complained to administration about his behavior and how he talked to them and how he treated them, and they ignored that. Obviously, he has no idea how to recruit. If he did, he just said, I'm not going to do it. And then, you know, the rest was on the field. I mean, player after player after player leaving, hemorrhaging players, like Jason said. that leave gaps that are – you can't just replace those guys. I mean, you know, you can't just go in the portal and say, okay, I need 8 offensive linemen. Well, so do all these other schools. So it's not like you're going to get to go in there and pick the 8 you want. You're battling. You might get 1 or 2. It's going to take a while, man.
Yeah. John says, what were the 2 names of the players? James Smith and Quay Russaw, 2 5-star defensive linemen. They say they're a package deal. That's what they've been saying all along. We'll see.
No pun intended. NIL deal.
Yeah.
Probably to get both of them, and that's what it's going to boil down to. And that's the other part of this, what you battle. I mean, a lot of that may carry more weight now than the want to go to a school. It's who's going to provide the best incentive package to come to that particular college.
Maybe we can get them a playing card or something.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, don't think the kid from California is going to be the only one with that idea when that company's offering that kind of return, and then you can sell those cards to fan bases. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, it's amazing.
Whew. Army-Navy, the one game, still one college football game left to play.
Boy, 2 great records.
Hey, well, I mean, at least they're kind of even. I mean, our Air Force won the Commander-in-Chief trophy, so
that's right.
Neither one of these teams got anything to play for it other than just to beat the other one, which is the way it ought to be.
That's right. There's a lot of
I will watch this game tomorrow.
There's a lot of sophisticated hate, I guess. A lot of they don't truly. I mean, obviously,
it's a lot like the Iron Bowl.
It is
in that a lot. I mean, you know, they really get after each other on the field, but when it's over, I mean, it's over.
Yeah, they're cordial.
Now, Mississippi State and Ole Miss, they hate each other, and they will fight, and they will.
That's Hatfield. That's Hatfield and McCoys for sure.
But yeah, that's true. It is December the 9th, the very first Heisman Trophy given out on this day, 1935. Your trivia question of the day: Jay Berwanger from Chicago College or University of Chicago. Jay Berwanger, your first Heisman winner.
Does Chicago even have a football pro? Do they even? What college are they now?
That's a good question.
Morphed into something
else?
That
is a good question. Eddie George, Troy Smith, and Baker Mayfield also won the Heisman today. Samford playing South Dakota State tonight, ESPN2.
Yeah.
So Samford trying to get done against the Jackrabbits. South Dakota State. That's going to be tough. They're pretty tough.
They're tough, man, no doubt.
Happy birthday today, Margaret Hamilton's the Wicked Witch of the West.
How about that?
I get you, you little dog, too.
My little pretty.
Kirk Douglas lived to be 104.
Gosh.
Good grief. Spartacus. Kirk Douglas. Red Fox, born on this day, hilarious.
Fred Sanford. There'll never be one.
Is there a funnier show that's ever been made?
I don't think there is.
Than Sanford.
The liners he came up with and the stuff he said.
When he said, I'm going to mix Ripple with champagne and have a little champipple. It just doesn't.
That's just the scratches the surface.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Dick Van Patten from.
Have you ever heard of any Red Fox stand up though?
Yeah,
it's 10 times funnier than
it is. It's a little, he goes off the rails. So.
Oh, he does.
John Cassavetes, he was the actor that pimped out poor Rosemary to the devil in Rosemary's Baby. He was also in The Dirty Dozen. Judi Dench, fine actress. Deacon Jones, one of the more fearsome defensive linemen in NFL history. Bo Bridges, brother of Jeff. Dick Butkus, another.
That's another
great.
all-time great.
And he's still alive.
Well,
born on
the best linebacker in the country is named after him, the Ward. So.
That's true. Steve Owens, he was a Heisman winner from Oklahoma in 1969. Tom Kite, he won the U.S. Open early 80s, I think. John Malkovich, weird guy, but good actor.
Being John Malkovich.
Being John. You ever seen? I've never seen it.
Never seen it.
I've never seen it either.
Don't care about Being John.
How about World Be Free? Basketball player in the NBA changed his name. Lloyd Bernard Free changed his name to World Be Free.
I like Metal World Peace.
That's right. Donnie Osmond, Kurt Angle, and Jacob Dillon. son of Bob, born on this day, 1969. Wallflowers.
The Wallflowers. That's exactly right.
It's going to wrap it up for us. Hope you all have a
One
great
headline.
weekend. He's Brad. I'm Andy. So long for now. We'll talk again soon.